It's just over a week until Roland Garros kicks off. Rafael Nadal is looking shaky as ever. Novak Djokovic recovering from the bottle. Who is now the favourite to win, Ben?
Well, this is the big question. Jannik Sinner on the sidelines, Alcaraz on the sidelines, Medvedev with a slight injury as well. We just don't know. Who is the favourite for Roland Garros coming in? Is it going to be maybe Stefanos Tsitsipas? He looks in good form right now.
The one thing for certain, though, is Iga's looking hot, and she is a big favourite on the women's. We're going to be giving our surprise packages on this episode, so stay tuned, sit back, get yourself a hot drink or a cold drink, and welcome to the countdown.
Novak Djokovic has won the Australian Open. 35 matches unbeaten. He's done it! Djokovic has won Wimbledon. He wins his 14th Roland Garros title.
We're back again, countdown time, and Roland Garros is only 12 days away. That's from the main draw starting. I can't wait. It seems it's come around oh so quick, JG, and it's not really the preparation I was anticipating for Roland Garros on the men's side. Normally, we know who the contenders are up until this point. But right now, I don't even have a clue. On the women's side, business as usual, Iga storming Rome.
Yeah, exactly. How you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. Yeah, I'm just excited more than anything because I thought that this year was going to be taken over by the fact that there was just these three guys on tour storming it at the front with the Djokovic, Sinner and Alcaraz. Now, I just feel it's a really interesting Roland Garros tournament. The fact that it will be Rafael Nadal's last ever tournament as well. The air of anticipation of there could be a brand new winner of Roland Garros this year, in my mind. That makes it even more exciting than ever.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain there's going to be a new champion. Let's be honest. Nadal's won so many of them. He's dominated this last decade and some. Djokovic, I can't see winning it either. So I think it's pretty open in that regard. One thing what we've all been guilty of doing is ruling out Jannik Sinner and Alcaraz and constantly referring to their injuries. We'll speak about it in more detail in a second, but they're the hot favourites still. I don't think their injuries were that drastic. I mean, Sinner was still able to play through parts of his. Alcaraz maybe not performing at his best, but I think he can still beat a lot of players, even if he's not 100%. And you'd think he's only going to get better having this extra rest. So them two, I think, are still going to be very much there at the end. Medvedev is still playing. I know he's had his own injury problems, but he's still in Rome and getting through that draw. So maybe it's just a case of out with the old, in with the new. And
wow, yeah.
I think this is a very telling Grand Slam, because maybe it's the first Grand Slam in recent history, maybe the first time I can remember in my lifetime, maybe it says a bit about my age, where I don't think Nadal and Djokovic are in the conversation for top 5 to win a Grand Slam. And I don't think that's ever happened in many, many years. Like, when has there ever been a Grand Slam where you wouldn't put even Nadal, Djokovic or Federer in the top 5 players to win the Slam? Because right now, Djokovic is outside my top 5 for Roland Garros. That may surprise some people. And Nadal's certainly nowhere near it.
Yeah, miles away right now. Just happy to see him if he's able to get a win under his belt at Roland Garros, to be honest. I agree with you with the Sinner and Alcaraz stats, though, right now. They've taken the time off for a reason. They've taken their time off to recover. We know that they had injuries, but there is a long period of time from when they last played up until Roland Garros, and it should be enough. Like you said, they're doing it on purpose so that they will be fit enough. And I think the first week of a Slam is enough for them to warm up, to get to a good level in that second week. I think they have to be the top 2 favourites right now coming in. I think Djokovic is now looking like he's playing third fiddle, I would say. And
I don't think so. I think he's outside of it. I think if you're looking at the state of play, I would put Sinner, Alcaraz, Medvedev all above Djokovic. I don't think many people can dispute that right now based off how he's been performing. And then the players above him would probably be between the Zverev, Rublev, Ruud, Tsitsipas, Hurkacz. Two of them names I think are more dominant than a Novak Djokovic right now.
Yeah, I mean, Tsitsipas, I'd say for sure on the clay courts right now. He's the one.
I think Zverev probably is my fourth. I know that may shock you. I just think he's got a real ability to turn it on at Roland Garros. The way he played a few years ago against Rafa before that he rolled his ankle was some of the highest level of tennis I've seen. If he can get anywhere near that, or the way he has played in spells this season, I think he's got a real shot of doing well.
I think he does have a real good shot of doing well, but we know Tsitsipas has been to Roland Garros final before, and he was one set away from winning the entire thing. And this is something now. He's been to 2 Grand Slam finals now. This could be his opportunity to step up. He's playing very well at the moment in Rome. He didn't have a great Madrid, but I don't think that's a similar surface to Roland Garros anyway. He won Monte Carlo. He got to the final in Barcelona. He's playing. He's probably the most informed clay court player on tour right now, I'd say, Stefanos Tsitsipas. And if he caps it off with a Rome Masters victory, that would be 2 clay court Masters he gets back, well, in this little clay court swing. I mean, how can you deny him coming into this tournament, maybe challenging those top 3 players?
Yeah, agreed. I think it's a different tournament for many reasons because of this, because we're not expecting the big names in Nadal or Djokovic to really go far. But let us know in the comment section if you totally disagree. Let's go to some tweets, and I'm going to start with Ollie's one, and that's Carlos Alcaraz, and that just shows him on court today. It's his first time on court in 12 days, and he's wearing some protection on his right arm. Great to see him back on a court. I think it was him missing Rome. Did he miss Madrid as well, or he went out early?
It was, I think it was just an early retirement, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. He played Madrid, but he missed Rome. I think by him doing that has put him in really good stead for Roland Garros, and I'm not concerned. I think he's going to do extremely well.
Madrid, he lost to Rublev, that was it, but he was struggling with the injury. So, yeah, he got past Jan-Lennard Struff in the 3-setter and then went out to Rublev. Yeah, it was a great performance by Rublev, but Rublev just been beaten by Muller from France. So him having a little bit of dip in form. But I think Muller just played well. It was another Tabio-style performance, I think. But yeah, good to see Carlos Alcaraz back on the tennis court, albeit with the strap in. You can see him here. Just have a little look. There you go. Just giving a little bit of sliding around. I saw a video of him the other day. He wasn't training with the actual tennis ball. He was actually just training, just running around without his top on the tennis court, sliding and practicing the movement on the tennis court, which I thought was quite interesting as well, to be honest.
One I've not seen is Jannik Sinner. I've not seen him return to court or training at all. It's been quite quiet in his camp. But I do know this, and that is if Novak Djokovic does not reach the final in Paris, Sinner will be the next world number 1 after Roland Garros. So I don't know if you want to bring that tweet up.
Yeah.
It's We Are Tennis. And that is Sinner will be the next world number 1 after Roland Garros if Djokovic doesn't reach the final in Paris. Looking very likely.
Right now, yeah. It's one of those things. I know that there's going to be a lot of people coming for us in the comments like there have been in the last couple of videos. We have done 2 back-to-back videos talking about Novak Djokovic with the bottle on the head. Was it a concussion? That type of thing. Him sort of giving that as the reason for him going out to Tabio in Rome, plus Tabio playing exceptionally well. I still think if Djokovic manages just to dial himself in for the first couple of matches at Roland Garros, it's 5 sets. It's his sort of domain. If he's able to get a few confident wins under his belt, you might see the old Djokovic just start to get the cogs turning again. And then once that steam train's rolling, it's hard to stop it when it's Novak Djokovic. But I feel like he's more susceptible now than ever to maybe suffering a defeat against somebody. So he has to be on his A game. Otherwise, there could be another shock exit coming up.
The draw's big. If he gets someone like a Tabio, and what I mean by that is really good clay court, who's playing his brilliant tennis, he's probably going to go out again. I honestly believe that. I don't know if you've got the odds up. I'm having a look at them right now,
Can have a look.
and you've seen quite a bit of movement. So before, when we last looked, Nadal was way up there, like close to Jannik Sinner. He's now dropped all the way down to 11-1. They're not giving him much of a shot. You've got Alcaraz favourite, Djokovic second favourite, Sinner third favourite, Nadal fourth, Tsitsipas fifth favourite. Nadal and Tsitsipas tied. They're always going to go very top heavy for the Djokovic's and the Nadals. I disagree with both of them two being in the top 5. I would put a Zverev a lot higher. I'd put a Medvedev higher as well. Them two certainly. You can make a case for Ruud or Rune, but Rune maybe not so much. But definitely Ruud, I think, could do better than Rune. He's a bit more consistent. Rublev, I think, will have a good tournament this year. I don't see Djokovic on the Nadal doing so well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a miracle, I think, for Nadal to be at any
Good odds on
sort of
Rublev, though.
Not bad, but
And Medvedev, I think.
considering his loss to Muller, it puts a little bit into question, is he ready yet? I mean, he's still only won that one clay court Masters event, and I'm just unsure with Andrei Rublev right now. Didn't he? Oh no, sorry, he won the second one, didn't he? He won Monte Carlo and he won Madrid, so he won 2. But fair play to Andrei Rublev, actually. So I'm giving him a bit of a hard time. We've got to give him some credit as well, because he actually won that with a very bad, was it like tonsil abscess as well? So
he couldn't breathe. The gap was all closed up. He was in a bad way. He was struggling to eat. I was saying that's why I wasn't expecting him to go very far. I remember I was saying in the bracket we did, you had him going still quite far. You didn't want to listen to me. But he's out for sure. Really, with Medvedev, his chances are good. I like his odds there, but it depends on if he faces a Sinner. And Jannik Sinner will just cream him, I believe. So if he can avoid Sinner, he's got a best chance.
I'm quite interested in this one as well, because if you look down this list, where's the first player we see who's actually outside of Europe? Because that's what I think.
Felix.
Is it? Yeah, there you go. Felix and Ben Shelton as well there. So the last time somebody outside of Europe won the French Open was in 2004. So this will be 20 years since somebody outside of Europe won it. And obviously the main names who have won it are Nadal, Federer, Djokovic. So there's not many other people's names who have been on the trophy. The last person who won it was an Argentine by the name of Gaston Gaudio, defeating another Argentinian, Guillermo Correa, in the final. So could we see an Argentinian come to the forefront in this tournament and really take the world by storm? That's the question. Any Argentinians you know?
Navone, Echeverry, for sure, but I don't see him doing
Sebastian Baez?
No. Baez did well. He's embarrassed me today, but I knew that would happen because I give it the big one, didn't I, with Holger Rune. And that's a great cue to go on to Holger Rune, because Jose has put out a nice visual representation of his form since May of last year. So May of last year, he was 7th in the world. June, he dropped to 6th. He went up, he got better, got to 6th, then he got to 5th, then 4th. And then slowly, since September, he's been just getting worse. I mean, he's been dropping down the draw. We've seen some freakish results from him. And at this rate, I think he'll be lucky to stand inside the top 10. He's not consistent enough at all. He can play some great event and then some bad one. Very hit and miss. And for that reason, I don't see him doing very well at Roland Garros, because he just doesn't have the consistency. After Rome at the moment, he's at 13. Jose says, I still think we're talking about a future Slam champ. The last 10 months have been tough, though.
Yeah, they definitely have. I mean, very much a lack of consistency. And that's the one thing, if you're going to be a top player on the tour, we've said it time and time again. Let's have a look at some of his results as well. You can see he's lost his second match in Rome to Sebastian Baez, lost to Griekspoor in Madrid, lost to Struff.
Well, that's not a loss. He didn't turn up. He was terrible. against Struff.
Yep. Lost to Sinner in Monte
Understand
Carlo.
that.
Yeah, can't blame on that. Malazan, he got battered in Miami.
That's what I'm saying. Is sometimes he loses very comfortably. It's not good enough. This is
Go
not a
down.
top player.
Casper Ruud in Acapulco.
Shevchenko. There's a lot of them. We don't have to go through all of them, Ben. There's just loads.
I
think we get the message. We're not going to go through everyone.
Just give him a hard time.
He's not that consistent.
Yeah, that's it. So sadly, Holger Rune, he was on all of our lists. I thought we were thinking of him in the same light as your Jannik Sinners and your Alcarazes, but right now he's just not even close to really. I have people like Alex de Minaur ahead of him really in my thinking these days. I think that he's maybe a stronger player, more consistent at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit sad on that front. Let's have a look, like, since he's gone out now, we can have a look at the round of 16 matches, which are all going to be taking place. Some of these may have started by the time we release this, but we can give our thoughts on them. And you can see that top section there, Tabio Khachanov and Zhang versus Montero. I mean, Montero's having a fantastic resurgence at the moment, isn't he?
Well, there's two of them, Muller and Montero, the two qualifiers, both doing equally as good. Montero got the better chance because his draw's nicer.
Yeah, I mean, the Muller match against Rublev, I don't know if you've had a chance to see any of that. Muller, oh my word, it was like the Tabio match. He literally mullered him. Like, he was hitting... In the first set, Rublev was out-hitting him, hitting so hard and not even making his boer noises. He was hitting it hard without the noise and just crushing the ball. And then Muller just sort of thought, I'm not having this. And he started going for literally every shot, and they just started flying in, and Rublev had no answer. He even finished it on an ace. That's how confident Muller was playing. And then he just looked surprised at the end. He was like, oh, can you believe it? Like, just like shook Rublev's hand and was still looking in a bit like shock at the end at how well he played. But if he plays like that, he can beat Jarry for sure, I think. But Jarry, a tough clay court player. Tough section, that.
I think it's one of them ones where it's a big result and after that you go out.
Yeah,
Takes a lot out of you when you beat a big player and you have to play some of your best thing.
First
like
ever
best
top
tennis.
10 win for him.
I think it's tough. It's tough to follow it up. It's the same when you beat one of the big three. You always go out in the next round. I think it's going to be a bit like that for Muller. Don't see him progressing. And it's a very open field looking at that. I mean, on paper, my favourite's Zverev or Dimitrov.
I mean, for me, Zverev's section still quite tough. I think Borges is still a tough match, and I think having Taylor Fritz, who's in good form there, and Dimitrov in good form,
It's the toughest bit, I think, maybe.
And I'd say Medvedev. He's not got a bad section down there. It's
I think looking at a lot of these names here, these are the names who Novak Djokovic and Nadal will want to avoid.
Yeah, for sure.
You can maybe get rid of some of them, but most, on the whole, these names here are players you do not want to play early doors at Roland Garros. They have the ability to take a big scalp, and Nadal with his ranking could draw any of them, and I think he'd go out first round if he does. Djokovic will not want to play any of these in the sort of third round or something because I think he could be heading out as well if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, someone like a Khachanov is a terrible draw for a lot of players. If he's playing well, he's playing really well in Rome at the moment.
I think Jarry is a one, like Djokovic, Jarry, third round, horrible.
Yeah, even Bias, the way he's been playing. I mean,
true, yeah, another one.
He's just a solid clay court player. Anybody who is just super consistent on this type of clay and can just grind
Just comfortable,
out. Yeah. I mean, someone like him, that's why I think these Argentinian players could be the danger players in this Roland Garros. So let's see if Bias goes a little bit further. If he knocks out Hurkacz, he might fancy himself down in that little section to maybe get all the way to the final. You never know. But Tsitsipas, for me, is the favourite in that bottom half.
Definitely getting interesting. Let's move on to the next section of the video. And I believe this is where we're going to be giving our surprise packages for the tournament. Right, here we go. The return of surprise package. And this time we're going to give all 3 picks for men and women all on this video right now. Ben did his one privately. I told him mine. So there's been no conferring at all. And the points is going to work like this. So if you pick a player ranked between 11 and 32, you get 1 point for every win they have. Is that right?
That's correct.
And so on and so on. I'm not going to go through all of it. Of course, if you pick someone who's 150 or above in the rankings, you get 6 points for every win. So it's a bit of a tactical game. We'll start with the men.
I was going to say, it's going to be easier if we start with the women, because then I can
start with
do
the
a slow reveal from the bottom upwards, that's all. So, and I've organised them in an order which is going to be the lowest ranking at the bottom, and then moving up to our highest ranking one. So, our number 3 picks would be our lowest ranked players. So the ones that will get us the most points in here. So tell us at home who you pick as well. I want to hear everybody's surprise packages in the comments section. So let's go for it. Let's see who we both picked. And here we go. This is our bottom pick, which is our number 3.
You've changed yours, haven't you? You fiddle around with them from earlier.
When was that? What?
You've changed some of them. That's all fine. You feel I'm not accusing you or anything. That's all totally fine. So, but you've gone with a Badoza 141. It's a good pick. I've gone with Naomi Osaka 135. A lot of points there.
Yeah, that's fine.
But not quite over 150.
No, I mean, you have to be very brave to go over 150, I think, because then they have to qualify probably as well, so it gets a little bit dangerous. These players probably have a protected ranking or something, so they'll probably make it in, if not by a wild card, I'm sure. Yeah. So Osaka, I can understand it, Grand Slam champ, and Badoza, normally clay's her specialist surface, and she didn't look too bad when she was playing in Rome before she's gone out, so that's my
Neither did Osaka. She lost to King Wing Zhen today, but still went quite far.
Yeah, not too bad, that one. Okay, second surprise package from both sides. This is, we're both similar numbers here, and this is a bit of a weird one. You've gone with Brenda Favitova, number 89 in the world, and I've gone with, this is my big punt, I've gone with Uchijima. What's your reasoning for your Favitova? I mean,
she didn't do that bad in Rome, and I think she's got that Favitova name. I think it's the younger one of the two, is it right?
That's correct, yes.
So, yeah, she's the one who's lower ranked, but I think her sister's motivated her. She's going to be there or thereabouts and have a good tournament. Draw dependent.
Yeah, definitely is. I think it's always going to be the case. Well, this one's a bit of a punt, and you've got to have a bit of a punt. 22-year-old Moyuka Uchijima, and she's in good form. She won an ITF on clay in Spain in Zaragoza. She only lost one match in her last 4 tournaments. She won on hard court tournament. She's just come off the back of another tournament win as well. So she's got 10 wins in a row in her last 10. I just think it's worth an informed player just coming into this tournament, and she's not somebody anybody's going to want to play, I don't think. And I think form is going to be one of the key things coming in. Somebody who could just get a couple of wins under their belt if they get a good draw as well.
Yeah. Moving up to the top one, so our highest ranked.
Interesting. Oh, so we got Carla.
I've kept it with a low ranked. I've gone with Maria Carla, my favourite player on tour right now. I'm singing her praises. I talk about her at work. I use her name in, I'm not going to say that online actually, but for multiple, I use it for multiple things. And
password.
I do use it for certain passwords. You're never going to guess it because you don't know what password it is. And I think she's brilliant. I honestly think she has a good chance. I've got a bet on her to win Roland Garros. It's going to make me rich when she does. And I'm here for the joy and the happiness. She beat Emma Raducanu and people didn't know her name. And you're all going to know her name after Roland Garros because she's going to win the whole thing.
Well, that would be incredible, and that would fulfill the prophecy of an Argentine winning this Roland Garros as well. But I'd be even more surprised if it was on the women's side, I have to say. Well, I've gone for Yulia Putintseva, and this might shock a few people. People will probably think Putintseva, that's a bit random because
Gone
she's
for the points, and you're outside 32 as well.
It was more just form. She's obviously 29 years old, so she's not like one of the youngsters coming through. But looking at her clay court
She's hardly
form,
old.
yeah, but looking at her clay court form, she played in Madrid. The only person she lost to was a very close match to Rybakina. She managed to beat Kasatkina, Dollarhide, Kim Win-jeng, and Yuan. And the only person she's lost to in Rome is Iga in a close match as well. So she's only beaten by the best at the moment, Yulia Putintseva.
There's a lot of research that's gone into that one.
Well,
There's hours of research, isn't
we're
there?
tennis analysts for a reason. So hopefully everyone at home has been doing their research as well. And give us a good reason why you picked your surprise packages as well.
On to the men's.
Yes, on to the men's. Right, okay. Who is our third pick? So, here we go.
I forgot who mine is. Oh, there we go.
So, number 53 in the world here for JG, which is, well, a great one. Facundo Diaz Acosta, brilliant player. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what he's been up to really recently.
Just an excellent.
But I know he was so
clay court
good
player.
a few months ago. The last time we saw him, he lost to Shapovalov. He's rested from Rome. He's going to be going full guns blazing at Roland Garros. I expect him to go for a few rounds. I think he's dangerous. Someone a Djokovic will want to avoid.
Ran Tsitsipas very close in Barcelona as well, so we cannot forget about that. Medvedev, I mean, sort of speaks for itself, really. I think it's very much recency bias from me, but this
Definitely.
is how well he's been playing in Rome.
First round, he's going out.
He just beaten. We've gone through the qualifying easily. He beat Carabelli, JJ Wolf, then he beat Poprin in straight
You always
sets,
go
and
off the last
Fokina.
event. All your picks are based off the last event.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Name one what's not off the last. Oh, well, maybe we've not got to it yet.
Maybe we haven't. Well, I was going to say.
Because none of the women's are. They're all
Yeah.
based off recent events.
Well,
so.
but those are not so much. That's just because she's got a big ranking, to be honest. And I thought, I was like you. I was just like, Osaka. Yeah, I know. But I think that the way he played against Medvedev and the way he beat Fokina, I was impressed. I mean, Medvedev, he's looking more confident as a player on court right now. And I think, why not? 132 in the world. Yeah, I mean, give me those points, please, Hamad.
You're going to get again 0 because he's going out. Next one.
Gets Rafa first round, puts him out. Right, next one. Oh, Nuno Borges, 45 in the world. And I've gone for Jakub Mensik. I mean, maybe a bit injured, but I think it's worth the
It's
risk.
not a bad one. That's a good one.
I think Mensik, it means a top young player, one of the best young players on tour. So
Nice ranking as well. Good points on offer. Nice draw. He could do something. It's a good pick. Borges, ranking's not so good anymore, but I feel like he's got stamina. He's someone who's got stamina. Do you know what I mean? Like 5 sets. I don't think he's worried. Take him to 5. He'd probably do 3 matches, 5 sets in a row, and just come for all of them.
Morgado cheering him on from the sidelines.
He's a bit of a Kai Nishikori. He loves a 5-setter.
Yeah, he's definitely got
He's
a good
ready
fan
for it.
base, though. I think Nuno Borges definitely someone that the crowd warmed to. So,
Have you heard him speak? He's American. He sounds American.
No, I haven't. That's a
Lived
bit
in the
crazy.
I think he lives in the US. But yeah,
Good college player then. Right, and our final pick, number
I
one.
really don't remember who mine is.
Of course you know yours.
No, I
is.
actually don't remember.
Navone.
Oh, okay. Did I say it?
Yeah, of course you did.
Okay. I
As
think
if
you
you-
put that down for it.
No, I think that this is. You knew you were going to get Carla and Navone. The Argentines won the top picks for JG. Well, say no more. You've already spoke about Navone at length in the last 2 podcasts. And,
I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to let his tennis do the talking.
And Tobias Tennis has already done the talking. So he's doing well in Rome. It is another recency bias from me, but he's having a great year. It's not just that recent. It is just a good year. And he's at I think it's his highest ranking. He's in the top 30 now, flying high, and clay is his surface. Say no more.
let's move on to the final section, and that is speaking about the women. Let's give a little preview on some of the matches left, because I believe we're down to, is it the last 8?
Yeah, it is. It is the quarterfinals. That's right. So let's have a look at who we've got left. And the quarterfinals, we've got Iga versus Madison Keys in the first one. I really like that matchup. And I like the next one even more. Coco Gauff, Kim Wing-Zhang. And it gets, they're all really good. Azarenka, Danielle Collins. Collins.
Sakari again, though, Ben.
Yeah.
Azarenka, she's not that good, is she, Mira Sakari?
No, she's
I feel like it's horrible to keep digging her out, but she's just disappointing consistently. She's someone I'm never really now getting behind at all. It's been like that for, I guess, a few years, but like this year's really taking its toll on my support for her, because she should be able to beat Azarenka. Do you not think? On the clay court, she's a good clay court. Just can't do it.
I don't know what's wrong with her.
Too hot and cold.
At least she's consistent.
Keys is looking amazing, by the way. Just beat Sastea 6-2, 6-1. King Wing-Zheng had a brilliant performance against Osaka, one of her best. Ostapenko's scraping her way through. Coco Gauff's not looking amazing, I wouldn't say. Sabalenka scraped through against Svitolina. It's Iga's for the taking, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it definitely is. She's the hot favourite. I think she'll get past Madison Keys with ease.
Could be a good one. I don't think it will be ease. I think Keys is playing great. That'll be a great match. Probably the match I'm looking forward to the most, because if Keys can trouble Iga, then I think she's got a good shot. She's probably a name to have for Roland Garros, thinking about it. You could do some damage.
Nah, played her in Madrid, battered her. She's going to batter her again. Sadly, Keys gets so frustrated.
What about Danielle Collins?
Well, that's the one.
She's hardly lost.
That's one name on the list.
Why is she going to retire? She's one of the best players in the world.
She's someone.
Is she not the top 5 best players in the world?
Right now, she is. She's someone I can actually get behind as well. I actually love watching her play. I think she has one of the most.
She's probably been a better player than Coco Gauff this season.
Yeah. Is she the top American on tour right now?
I think so, yeah.
Isn't it
better
crazy?
Than Pegula, better than Gauff.
I think she's playing unbelievable tennis. I hope she defeats Azarenka, despite liking Azarenka. And I hope we see Danielle Collins in the final. I really want this, if it is to be her last year, to go out with an absolutely
I don't know why it's her last year. Surely you wouldn't retire if you're playing this well.
She just said she'd lost the passion for it.
Yeah,
she just didn't.
She's going to get it back, though. No,
she doesn't.
I know she had a lot of injuries and
problems. She doesn't want to do all the
so.
training anymore. I don't think that's what the main thing. She just wants to have a normal life. That's it.
Don't do it next year. I think she'll still do quite well.
Yeah, be a Barty. Barty could still come back and probably get to the final, I reckon.
No, she can't. Not anymore.
No, maybe not.
Iga's got too good. Iga, Saba, Rybakina, they're class.
Yeah, the game has moved on. Well, Saba scraped her way through against Svitolina, throwing away chances to serve out for the match. It's got broken to love serving out for the match, and Saba still a few questions to be answered, I think, when it comes to holding your nerve in big matches. But she somehow dug in and found a way to get through it. It wasn't pretty, but I think against Ostapenko, she won't even get the opportunity. If Ostapenko turns up, then that could be a quick day at the office. But Saba, she has a good set in her, but there's never 2 real confidence sets. That's the only problem. There's one really big one, and then the second one's a bit shaky, and she just about gets it over the line.
Yeah, agreed. Let's wrap it up there. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Oh, there we go. Back to the countdown. I must have pressed the wrong one. And there's not going to be any tennis shootout today. The reason being is I didn't have too long because I'm actually catching a flight tomorrow. I'm going away on holiday. I will have my laptop, so I'll still be doing some content here and there. But we had to do a bit of a condensed countdown.
Well, the real reason that there isn't one is JG had his question, but then a bottle hit him on the head, and now he's forgotten it.
Yeah, might be that. There's a lot of people asking for me to do the bottle challenge. They want Ben to drop a bottle on my head and see if it hurts. So that could be something that could happen very soon. A bit nervous, of course, especially if it makes me collapse and I end up getting concussed. But I'm happy to do it with a plastic bottle. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enough bottle chat, and we'll see you very, very soon.